Hey everybody, what's going on? Mike Lowe here, and we are starting the 2023 season with our same old Lions. We had a pretty successful season, as you probably have seen by now. Made it to the Super Bowl last year at the end of the 2022 season. We did lose and had a pretty nice draft. We're going to talk about the Lions here in just a little bit. First, I wanted to just say thanks again for the feedback on the sliders. Gotten a lot of just tweets and messages on the Operation Sports slider thread there. And that's where you can find this particular slider set. So if you want to see those, again, they are up there, including the instructions on how to play in the broadcast view, or you can just check episode 1 of the very first season of the Same Old Lions franchise, and I go over it there how to do that. So I've actually found a little bit of a quicker way to do it since then, but should give you the kind of the general idea to at least get you started, get you comfortable with it. And again, I really highly recommend spending some time practicing that because it is a little bit weird at first, but like anything else, once you get used to it, I actually find it weird to go back to regular Madden view. So anyway, we finished the last stream at the draft, and I wanted to go through and look at a few teams here because probably about 8 teams I want to take a look at because we were just kind of curious to see kind of like a draft recap. And let's see, Bears weren't one of them. Broncos there was a defensive tackle that I know we had talked about very early in the draft. He went before we were able to pick, but Elijah Myers, turns out he looks to be a pretty darn good player. 76 overall with a hidden dev trait, and stayed local for them from the University of Colorado. So he was one of the guys I wanted to show. The Browns had a few guys, I believe, including that safety we were talking about. Remember Lamar Cousins? That was the big decision. We were really hoping he was going to fall. He did not. He's a 74 overall, but normal dev. So I don't feel like it was the end of the world, especially because we ended up with Cam Gentry, our development trait linebacker here, which we'll take a look at. So Lamar Cousins went there. They got someone else. I'm just trying to remember. There was another interesting player here. Oh, who was it? Oh, they got BJ Young, a lineman, but I thought it was somebody else. Well, anyway, it must have just been, yeah. Anyway, so we saw them. Let's see. The Bucks were one of the teams I wanted to show you, I think. Let's see, any rookies here? Edward Mitchell. He's a hidden dev trait. I'm not sure where he even got picked. He's out of University of Michigan. I think he was a first rounder, third rounder. So they got Edwin Mitchell there. That's a nice, definitely a nice pickup for them. Let's see. Chargers had some really interesting players, or at least one. Um, so if you recall, the Chargers had the second pick in the draft, and they went with the Heisman winning quarterback Alfonso Gibbons, also out of the University of Michigan, and he indeed does have a hidden dev trait. So he'll be a really fun player to watch. If we kind of look at their QB situation here, they still have Justin Herbert, so I'm not sure if Alfonso Gibbons is going to get the start here. But with the second overall pick, I mean, what are you doing if you're not going to play him? So we'll have to kind of keep an eye and see what they do there. Let's see. Oh, the Dolphins. The Dolphins got a quarterback late who had a hidden dev trait. Um, but I don't even know if he might have just been undrafted. Let's see. 6th round. So Deshaun Windsor out of Arkansas. It's a nice pick for them. I feel like they still had somebody else. Chad McClendon. So they have a rookie. I don't think he had a dev trait though. Yeah, he was normal. Let's see. The Falcons got that tight end. If you recall, we were talking about that one tight end I thought would be pretty good, Justin Aldridge out of Texas A&M. He did not follow us where I was looking to get him, but sure enough, he does have a hidden dev trait. So looks like they got a pretty good tight end there. The Jaguars had the first overall pick, And they got two really exciting players. First off, in the second round, they got I think the second running back taken. We took the first one, I believe. But JoJo Henson was the receiving running back. Also an elusive match for them, so he'll be a really nice player. But he was picked, I think, the first pick in the second round, JoJo Henson, 21 years old. And then they also got their quarterback, who was a little bit older, but Bobby Bryan was expected to be the top pick, and sure enough, 75 overall. So it looks like they're going to have a nice kind of SEC connection there with their running back and their quarterback, Bobby Bryan. Let's see. Who else? The Raiders might have gotten the best player in the draft, and it's right here, Bradley Drummond, a wide receiver out of Oklahoma. He's only 5'9", 21 years old, but is already a 75 with a hidden dev trait. I'm not sure where they got him. He was the first round 19th, so minus the height, maybe scared some teams off, but he looks to be pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I think just the Vikings got. There was another safety we were kind of keeping an eye on as far as names, and it's Devontae Kirkpatrick. And again, he has a hidden dev trait. I think he was their first round pick. Yeah, first round pick, 25th. So again, there's just kind of a quick look. I am still just really happy with what we were able to do with the team. Speaking of, let's take a look at the team and kind of how it all shaped up here with free agency. We didn't make any big splash moves. We were trying to get what's his name, the defensive tackle from the Washington football team. I always say his name wrong. Let me just pull him up here because he signed with the Saints. This guy, Matthew Ioannidis. We tried to get him to give us some pass rush up the middle, but he signed with the Saints there instead. So we made just kind of some minor moves with this team. First off, our slot receiver is going to be Lawrence Ewing. So he was a guy drafted, I believe, in like the fourth or so round a couple years ago, another undersized receiver. We grabbed this guy, and I was looking at he was a fourth round pick 2 years ago, and so has one career catch, 11 yards, nothing big going on there. But he's probably our second best short route runner, and so I thought he'd be a good match. Also kind of pushing him for that spot. We re-signed the undrafted Denzel Nash, who was our one of our kick returners last year, a nice receiver. But I like someone with a little bit better short route running. What's nice about Nash is his speed, of course. And if we do have Pierre Griffin go down, he can easily kind of step into that role there and take over as kind of our deep threat there. Kenny Galladay, for his big and grabbing touchdowns and stuff like that, he's also our best short route runner. So just something to keep in mind there. We still have some really nice weapons there in DeAndre Swift and Hawkinson, who will be part of the passing game. The offensive line remains exactly the same, except for Reeves and Jackson switch sides. And of course, you know a lot about Nick Escobar by now, second round pick a couple years ago, entering his third season already. I guess the big story of the draft for us is we got the top talent in the draft at pick number 31. He does not have a dev trait, but is already a 79 overall. He'll be making his career debut today. 21-year-old rookie Pat Aiken out of UCLA. And so that's the offense. Again, you can see I don't think we even signed anybody. We signed Marcus Mariota, backup quarterback. We got another rookie here, receiver, and Malik Hodges. Again, a nice speed. We have a lot of speed at that kind of wide receiver 2 spot here. Seif is still on the team. And actually, it's kind of interesting. I actually kind of like our third string quarterback. He was undrafted guy at Notre Dame. And 90 throwing power, not super accurate, but 83 speed. I think he can actually step in and do a decent job. Of course, Mariota gives us a little bit more kind of a short passing game. Not as good of an arm, but it's probably the safer bet to be a backup, especially if we're going to be a playoff team and say Escobar gets hurt. Also 88 speed, but it still gives us, we have 3 quarterbacks here who I'm comfortable trying to run our offense with. So yeah, we'll be using kind of, 2 and 3 running backs again. It'll be, we can't forget about DeAndre Swift. He's still a super, super good player here. But he's in the last year of his contract, and like I said before, a lot of running backs don't make it to their second contract, and so even good ones. And luckily we're positioned well where we'd be okay, I think, with Pat Aiken, especially if he can get maybe a rookie of the year or something, maybe get a dev upgrade. On defense, again, pretty quiet. Pat Christmas, number 3 overall pick 2 years ago. He will be on the defensive line, I think, full time now. Joe Toller, our very first round pick, who had 16 and a half sacks his rookie year, made the Pro Bowl his rookie year, and then last year just was kind of non-existent in a way. He was hurt a lot, but again, he's still getting in there. It wasn't creating that pass pressure he was, at least on the PS4. And again, maybe that was more to do with game patches and things like that. But so he's there. Of course, Trey Flowers, Jeff Okudah, who led the NFL in passes defended, and Sean Griffin here will be stepping into the starting role after having 2 interceptions as a rookie, both in the same game, and actually both returned for touchdowns. So he will now be a starter for us. He is a man cover guy through and through. He's not a great press guy, so he's going to be in the slot when we do play three cornerbacks, which is almost what we do primarily on defense. We're going to be running a lot of man coverage because he's just not a very good zone guy. We did sign Steven Nelson to kind of fill in for that role that was left open when we let Justin Coleman walk. And Nelson will be a nickel back, but he'll play on the outside, if that makes sense. Because again, we'll move Griffin to the inside there on those situations. So again, a guy who can play a little bit of everything, decent press guy. We also signed Justin Lane, former Michigan State Spartan. Again, just a guy who's primarily a man cover. So again, it kind of allows us to kind of keep these things rolling here if one of these guys get hurt. We also still have Perry Nickerson, a guy I signed, I think, just as a free agent, mostly because he's just got really, really good speed and can at least run with a guy in man coverage. So he's just kind of floating around there. We did sign Justin Houston. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife defensive lineman. He can kind of do a little bit of everything. He's even got a size to play on the inside, which he will in pass situations. So, and then we have a draftee from the previous draft here, entering his second year, just kind of filling out some depth, and then a defensive lineman from this year's draft, same kind of thing out of Penn State. This is Chance Perriman, 3rd round pick here. So again, he'll get some action, but truthfully, not probably a ton here, unless we continue to have more injuries. Deshaun Hand again still on the team. Safety, we move Walker from strong safety to free safety. Still not thrilled with I have not been happy with our free safety situation in years with this franchise, but he's a guy who can play solid man coverage, which you still need in a free safety. His zone I would like to be a little bit higher, but he's going to be there. And we did bring in Von Bell this year, who I do like, even though he's a better zone guy. His man coverage tells me I think I'm still going to kind of keep him at the strong safety position, where he's going to be lined up more on, say, a running back or a tight end more so than, say, like a slot receiver. So there's Von Bell. Of course, we have a former first-round pick here as well, who I just can't really find a home for, Martin Stoutmire. The guy has pretty terrible coverage skills, as you can see. So certainly strong safety is the position for him. And, even at sub-linebacker, it's a bit of a risk because he's 5'11", 199. He's not a very big guy to be playing sub-linebacker. So, but he's a 77 overall. I mean, he's not a bad player. We just got to kind of get him into the mix here. But we're going to really do our best to never have him play free safety. He would come in at strong safety. Even Bell would kind of switch over to free safety here if Walker got hurt. Roquan Smith is back after having an awesome year, led the NFL in tackles. Cam Gentry, as I mentioned, he was our 2nd round pick, right? Or our first 2nd round pick? We had 2 of them. Yeah, he was the first 2nd round pick out of Auburn. And he has a hidden dev trait. So he is... it could be a really special player. It could be the best player we ended up drafting this year. He's a guy who's already a pretty good pass coverage linebacker, and he will definitely get some action here playing. So we're excited about him. And then we actually have in the rare situations when we bring in a 3rd linebacker, say 4-3 plays or plays kind of near the goal line. Chad Meredith was a guy I picked up. He's an undrafted free agent. He's only a 67 overall. But at middle linebacker, but when I put him at left outside linebacker for some reason, he comes up a little bit higher in the overall. So he's showing a 71 overall there. We also have Stewart, who we drafted 6th round the previous year, and Sherwood, who we drafted this year. Also kind of battling around that spot. He was a 4th round pick. And so, really all 3 of these guys here are kind of in the mix. But again, truthfully, we are going to be using Nelson far more than we'll be using one of those three guys. So that's how the team looks. Have a new punter, no big deal. We have a new kick returner, just kind of an undrafted. I don't know if he was even a draft pick. No, yeah, he was just a guy who's been in the league a couple of years. Kadeem Hurst out of Iowa State. So we'll see how he does. Oh, let's see. And then just a quick look at the specialists here. Bo Scarborough still the power back. Swift, third down back. Which again, you can see we'll have a hole next year if we don't bring him back, because neither of these guys are great. And I mentioned Ewing and Nash in the slot there. Griffin in the slot corner position. Houston I mentioned in the middle, and then the sub linebackers who we talked about. So that's what's going on there. I do have some formation subs active for Aiken, our first pick in the draft. I mean, I want to make sure he's getting some touches. And truthfully, I like to go with the hot hand. I've noticed at least in Madden, and it might be placebo. I don't know if it's a real thing, but it does seem like there are players who just have good games, whereas another running back might really suffer. And I notice it a lot with the running backs because, of course, they're actually getting the touches and so on, and so you notice it kind of game in and game out. So I definitely like to go with a good balanced attack with those different running backs. So Seattle, still a pretty darn good team. They, of course, have Russell Wilson. They put up a lot of yardage. They run a West Coast power run. And we're going to be doing a lot of cover two man. That's our strength, as I talked about. It allows our safeties to kind of help back up a little bit and just try to play a little bit of everything. Try to stop the run and let our corners run with their receivers. And they have some pretty good receivers. Of course, DK Metcalf, and I'm forgetting the other guy now, but they have two like 85 receivers or something like that. And of course, Russell Wilson, who's awesome. Defense, they have some pretty decent defense. 4-3 under, they run. They will blitz a lot. And we're actually going to be doing deep pass shot. It's kind of our focal point here. And I truthfully don't even remember why. I mean, part of it is our passing game is our strong suit, our deep passing game especially. And if I go look at their defense, there must have been a reason why. Oh, I know why. They have a kind of like a weird corner setup. So they have three pretty good corners. But Shaquille Griffin will probably stay on that left cornerback spot, which means he will be pairing up with Griffin, which is actually a pretty good matchup for them because of the speed. Here you have Hilton, though. And Hilton, it's either going to be Hilton or Flowers, will be on Galladay. And if it's Hilton, you got a huge size disadvantage, right? 5'9". So that's something we could look to pick on if he's covering Galladay. 6'3" Flowers. I'm not exactly sure where they put him, if he just stays at their slot corner. Oh, weird. So he's like their dime back. So here's what's weird. So like, if we can actually run like 4 receiver sets sometimes, I mean, Galladay is going to have this guy. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, if we can kind of spread their defense out, get Donnell Devine, what a great name, Donnell Devine on one of our receivers, that's going to be a nice mismatch. It would also, I don't know if it would get, oh, their linebackers aren't great outside of Warner, or Wagner, I'm sorry. But I'm just wondering if it would take anybody else off the field. But anyway, so again, their defense isn't bad at all. It's also not great. And if we can take advantage of those corners and maybe stay away from Jamal Adams, that would be a good game plan. So we'll see if some of that deep passing can open up. Look at X factors for the Lions at this point. We have a handful of guys, nothing crazy. Kenny Galladay still. Again, really, really good in the red zone. Sean Griffin and Jeff Okudah. So, pass, right, on offense and defense. That's kind of the name of the game for us. So, and I wanted to look at the Seahawks, and then we're going to jump into some gameplay here. Went the wrong way. Russell Wilson, just super frustrating to play. Super, super good. Of course, Jamal Adams, who will be a bit of a menace there in the run game. So, all right. What else is there to look at? I don't think there's anything else. I went through and adjusted, ticket prices. That's something I try to mention to people. One thing I never even noticed, I completely forgot that like your head coach actually accumulates upgrades. And so I don't know if he was accumulating these before we hired him because he's still a level 23. But I did go through and spend kind of his points. So and you know we still have a roster that's like ranked in like the mid to high 20s. So like we're not. I haven't overly progressed my players. So if you're worried about this, like, oh, I don't know, I haven't done this either. Maybe I don't want to get too much of an advantage over the AI teams. I don't think you're going to see it. So I've gone through and just kind of picked some. I really want to focus on defense because our defense has been kind of bad, just like in real life. And then we did receiver just because that was the point match that I had. I couldn't quite do the running backs yet with the points that were left. And then quarterback. So, yeah, so anyway, upgraded the coach a little bit here. That should give us a little bit of a boost to our roster, which interestingly enough is a little bit underwhelming according to the ratings here. When you look at kind of like the league-wide roster ratings, we were pretty not good. Let's see where I can find that again. Is it under team success? No, it's harder to find than you might realize. It's in a weird place. Like you'd think it'd be in team value with all this other stuff, but I don't think it is. Like there's team success, but there's not roster. But there is a place you can see your kind of general roster. Maybe it's fan happiness. Yeah, here, roster rating. All right, so we have the 28th roster rating. So like I said, I'm not worried about us being maybe developing too quickly or anything like that. That's not taking place right now. So if anything, I probably should have done those upgrades a little bit sooner. All right. I don't think we have any injuries on either team during the preseason, and I simulate that. Oh, they do. So they have Malik Collins out, Gregory Mixon, a strong safety for them. But I always simulate with the injury slider at 50, and then during games I've been using 43, and it's been pretty solid. So, okay, I think it's time for some gameplay. Aiken making his debut here in Seattle. Should be fun. But again, the game plan is more trying to attack them deep, I guess. Try to stay away from Jamal Adams.
Today, from CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah, it definitely could be a Super Bowl hangover, but I took a few days off in between. I want to know what number 32 was. They showed number 32. I don't even know what that is for the Lions.
It's the Seattle Seahawks.
Is it raining? Oh yeah, it looks like it's raining.
It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. Let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. At the beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 30 on second down, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Oh, what a catch.
Downfield on the left side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards on the play, first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
That's nice to see. That was Griffin in zone coverage.
Difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Hunter Renfrow is the man he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire team.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to have the Seahawks first down as they're able to...
That was a zone blitz from us.
Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger, Russ.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on third and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
I want to see if that was something Griffin messed up there, because it's definitely on his side, but he should be in the slot. Yeah, so I don't think that was him. No, he stayed with this guy. Jeez, yeah. That's our fourth corner out there. Oh, somebody was tired or what? Let's see. Huh. Yeah, Okuda wasn't on the field. He must have been tired. Just ran right by him. Okuda's still not on the field. I'm looking there. He must be hurt.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Carson.
Rookie looked bad on that play.
13-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive.
Watch Cam Gentry here, 54. Wearing Chris Spielman's old number.
Remember, that was done without any real...
Yeah, you get to see him.
How to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Very curious why Okuda isn't playing. Like, I did some subs, and I just wonder if I like messed it up somehow. Does it not show injury report? Oh, here we go, medical center. Man, he's not hurt. Jeez, I just kind of worry that I have him Let's hope I didn't formation sub him out of the game or something. Oh well, gotta go with it. Figure it out. Works the same as an injury.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. center Charles at quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy that springs for the good stuff.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Oops. Meant to throw that to R.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the
hit the wrong button. R was open.
That time there was very little.
Just thought that was going to be for X.
That it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on. There is a flag down. Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
Yeah, the next-gen stats showing that.
Perfect
even
throw.
57 yards through the air.
All right, let's give the ball to Pat Aiken here.
They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Nope, maybe not. He false started.
Whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The quick throw complete into the flat out left. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They juked him. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
2nd and 4.
Had Hawkinson too.
Incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And it's 3rd and 4.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
quick throw out left. It's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
We're going for it.
Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He gives it off to Carson.
All right, Okuda's out
2
there.
yards on the carry there. It'll be
That's
second
good.
down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye.
Yeah, see, I don't have him in, like, for nickel. He's, like, subbed out of these packages. That's really weird. And I can't do formation subs in here, can I? Oh, well, I can for 4-3. Does this take me to formation subs? No. Why does it only let me... Super weird.
And make a play, but on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. To throw is Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
I was literally getting picked by him, and they threw the flag on me.
The incompletion.
That penalty is declined.
Your look is just as puzzled
I need a
as
same
mine.
4-3 to keep Okuda on the field.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Well, there was a 42, making a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar
I was
situation.
going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll run on 1st down. Aiken. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind, trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap? I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jalen Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
There were guys who were getting open. You can see right there, it's just the window is tight. I was trying to see if I could move around and buy some time, but no such luck. Yeah, I probably had 83 there, who's Ewing. But by the time he was open, I mean, I was already moving. Had pressure in my face.
Job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Can I make like actual subs here? Yeah, like I don't think I even can. No?
From the shotgun, Wilson. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And past the 40 before he's out of
That's the problem. Is
a good pickup there, 21 yards.
got an undrafted linebacker trying to cover guys.
Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to float this.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Left side complete to Lockett. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup there.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7, Lions nothing.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. This is Carson. And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 15 yards out. Well, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and
Yeah, that was tight. I was hoping they were going to actually establish the block, but it did not happen.
Stress on your offense. And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On play action, they'll throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. We've said it many times, Charles, when you have weapons like this at the wide receiver position, just get them the football any way that you can, and here it's in the run game.
And that was an example of catching a team off guard because it really paid off for them. They weren't ready for that at all. I know they weren't ready to try and catch him because once he hit full stride, that was going to turn into a big play, and it did.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats, look at this, 22.3 miles an hour was his top speed. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in the open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
They get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2nd and 11. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Buying time to his left.
Couldn't get my feet going.
Darrell Taylor able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, not going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Makes the score Seahawks 14. Lions.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Will Disley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in.
No, I can't go to my dime because I accidentally have subbed out. Oh, substitutions. Does it pause the play clock? No.
They expected it and got there and popped it free.
There you go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And that will be incomplete as well.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble.
And he doesn't stay in.
The first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll be away for the 2nd time. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete.
I had a misread there, really bad.
Brings up 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Rusty, I'm missing lots of stuff today.
Again, be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off.
And a fake here, direct snap to the upper end. And he will not make it.
1 yard short.
Short of the 1st down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Seahawks will get the football back in outstanding field position. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to...
4th and short in this part of the field. You just notice special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake, but Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it, and they were ready for it and stopped it.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
He's delivering reckless enough with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On 1st down, Carson able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a toss play. It's Carson.
Oh, God.
And he's able to get this down.
And he runs out of bounds.
Before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double down here and get 8.
It's difficult. They made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They run it with Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
7-yard line.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Will Disley, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This will be caught at about the 5. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Makes the score Seahawks 17.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. There you go. There you go.
Kenny Galladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. He's been good so far to this point in the 2nd quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the 2nd quarter.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They'll throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're doing like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
At the 40-yard line.
Let's watch Griffin here.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the
5'8"
conversion. A big play on 3rd down for the Lions. 42 yards. yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Oh, man.
And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Picked off. Yep. Terrible throw.
It's going to be intercepted. Picked out by Mike Hilton. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one where you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what.
Yeah, that was good coverage, just a bad read. Hawkinson had some ground around him. Should have stepped up and run.
At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation that they decide to take a shot.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Wilson, he's going to look to run with it.
He's got a first down and inside the midfield. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the visiting Bears who come in and get the victory on the road. Steven Sims.
Dang, that Bears second quarterback.
3 touchdown catches.
Kerryon Johnson, 7 attempts, 180 yards.
Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. 31-21, the final score. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Teddy Bridgewater, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, he did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll keep it on the ground. Aiken. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A big play on third down for the Lions. 56 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, Aiken, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Well, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Takes this about 5 yards deep, and this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some, because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run again with Carson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On third down, it's Carson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And this defense not giving them anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. First and 10, it's Swift. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hey, there's the rookie Cam Gentry.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
Is that John Gruden coaching Seattle?
There as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Tyler Lowe was a target there.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run on first down. Aiken. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. They'll set up to throw. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On first down, Aiken. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, 36 yards. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt, the will as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Pass incomplete.
Wilson's pass thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
On 3rd down, you'll give him that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kenny Galladay and the Lions set to go to work again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this?
Not getting it going today is the rookie running back. 12 carries, 15 yards.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle couldn't bust him free. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Being chased out left. He may try. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost
Gosh,
the football.
tried to slide there.
The Lion was there to recover it. Yes,
Ooh, is he hurt?
Keep possession. Now,
And Pierre Griffin's hurt.
We're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season.
I think we just lost our quarterback and receiver. That sucks if Pierre Griffin's hurt. Who's on the field here? Let's see. Okay, quarterback's okay.
Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Man.
They will only muster a yard here to the 38. And the
High
trend
ankle sprain.
continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
2nd and 9 now. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Oh, man.
The throw there going to be incomplete. And that one off the mark. A little late with a throw.
It's now 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Josh Oliver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
Now a carry for Swift.
Oops.
Back-to-back stops.
Tried to throw that. Too late.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This one taken just in. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Recovered by the kicking
Roquan Smith on special teams. Okay.
How many times in the course of a
Take
game
it.
do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Here's Swift. And the Lions are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. Third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal.
Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. This started with first and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on fourth and goal from the 1. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Lions add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, oh, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Justin Houston in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. impressive. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. Will be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down. Wilson will throw again. Left side complete to Lockett. He was tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Again, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. Well, 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Lions have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts him in real jeopardy.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is revoked.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity miss there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That's the score. Lions 27.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary 1st step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down, now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode, had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
My cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he can't get him thrown away. He's taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here comes the Lions punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. All right, so let's look at these numbers. I don't want to read the tea leaves here too much, but maybe he's in his own head a little bit after that hot start and the cool-off.
Sometimes that happens, and this is where you get tested as a player in this league if you truly want to be an impact player or a star, because that's what they're going to face each and every game. Extra coverage, extra people. So now, do you fight through it? Do you find other ways? Or do you allow it to affect you to the point where you're no longer an impact on the game?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw. And he comes back with one complete. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. Things over prior to this upcoming. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Well, we'll take it. Big win for the Lions. Did not start off pretty. 3 points at halftime. Not going to call play because I don't want a false start or anything.
And 1-0 after going down to that knee. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Detroit, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Conversions are a big part of the story. Them going 2 for 10 on 3rd down and us going 3 for 4 on 4th down. I usually don't call that many, but short inside the 35-yard line or so. You're usually statistically better to try and go for it. So and there's the proof right there, right? We came back and won. We're taking field goals. This Escobar with an ugly pick, but otherwise played pretty well. Actually outplayed Russell Wilson, who had a really nice first half and then cooled off. Carson was running okay. They just only gave him the ball 11 times. Neither of our running backs really got anything going. Swift okay. Escobar ran 6 times. Aiken, pretty underwhelming, as I mentioned. You got to kind of go with the hot and cold hand. I Tried to split them up a little to see, and yeah, had a couple nice runs, but what was his long run of the day? 8, so. Galladay, 3 touchdowns today. It's just so ridiculous. Lawrence Ewing had a really nice day today. A couple really important catches. Tyler Lockett, that's what I was thinking of earlier. When I mentioned they had 2 good receivers. Decent days for sure. Rookie gets his first sack. Well, that helps a lot. You can sack Russell Wilson 4 times. Bad. I took too many sacks today. That was the one thing. 2.5, 3, 4 sacks ourselves. Nothing crazy. None of them were from blitzes, it even seemed like. It was just good coverage. Just taking too long for things to open up. Mike Hilton, the guy I said I'd be picking on, actually got me for an interception, but we got him for a few of those touchdowns for sure. So, hey, Lions are 1-0. In 2023, so there you have it. Got some upgrades to get to. Possibly an injury here to Pierre Griffin. Back out and take a look here. Huh, he has a high ankle sprain, but he's not out at all? Well, I'll take it. We'll definitely take that. Alright, well, that's going to do it, folks. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Of course, checking out the sliders. Continue to share your feedback. Again, hopefully the streams are enjoyable. You're able to kind of watch some gameplay. And again, the beginning of the streams, we usually talk more about just kind of the general philosophy of team building and so on in franchise mode here. In this case, of course, with Madden football. So I'm Mike Lowe. I'm on Twitter at MikeLowe47. Thanks for subscribing, everybody. I'll see you next time.